It's impossible for me to even process being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, everybody that's in are people that I grew up dreaming of being like. All of my heroes are in the Rock Hall, and I still am, I guess it's just still kind of mind blowing to me that I have 30 something years under my belt, and that I know, quite a few people that brought me to where I'm at. So it's incredible. It really is. It's just incredible. I wish there was some sort of like handbook for how to maintain your longevity or whatever, and there just isn't. For me, I grew up listening to albums and poring over the notes and knowing who like every player on every record, and I loved the process. I loved learning. I loved getting better. I loved playing instruments and writing my heart and soul. And I think because I came up at a time when people really invested in their musical heroes and they came to every show and they grew with them, I was really fortunate. I think in this day and age, it's going to be really tricky and challenging for a young artist to have the kind of longevity that I've been really blessed to have, and all of my heroes have had, because we had such an organic fan base and people really invested in the whole albums, and it wasn't just all about streams. And I've just been really lucky. I've loved the work. The work for me is what keeps me still writing. I mean, just even putting this record out for me has been the result of just loving it. I always feel like there's so much to write about, and that I've got so much more to do. And so I guess that's what longevity is just sticking with it.
It's a beautiful life. Blow your mind and make you say, ah.
I sometimes open my mouth and say stupid things like I'm never going to make another album. Well, actually, to be honest, at the time I didn't think I would, because just analytically, I don't think people necessarily sit down with an album like I did, where my favorite songs might be 4 or 5 deep cuts in. But I love the art form. And also I had a collection of songs that were all very timely of a moment. And I felt like, maybe this isn't a conventional album like what I'm used to making, that has a beginning, a middle, and end, that takes you on a journey. It's really a collection of songs. And to me, I liken it to a playlist. It is a new playlist of Sheryl Crow songs, and we're calling it an album, and it's called Evolution. Just being in the UK so much, when we first started out, we broke in Europe and in the UK at the same time we broke in the United States, and we spent so much time traveling there. Many of my heroes are English, and also I've gotten to play Hyde Park, and I've gotten to play the Royal Albert and Glastonbury, and some of my greatest memories are there. So I'm bringing my boys back, and we're going to hit the tour bus, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It makes you happy. It can be that bad.
It's really flattering to hear from young artists that I had anything to do with where they're at now. For me, that was Stevie Nicks, it was Linda Ronstadt, it was the Rolling Stones, it was Bob Dylan. I mean, there were so many people that made me want to be great. And if I'm doing that for any young artist, then I guess it's twofold. It's like, isn't that what it's all about? And also it's extremely flattering. I do feel like there's so many great young artists, and a lot of them happen to be women, that are coming up now and who are playing instruments and who are writing great rock songs. Whether they're qualified as pop rock or whatever it is, they're writing their hearts and soul, and they're playing. Like you've got obviously Olivia Rodrigo, who I have a lot of faith and belief in, as well as St. Vincent. I mean, there are just so many young women, boy genius, that can play and that can sing and write. Courtney Barnett. I mean, there's so many great young women out there that are inspiring me to keep going. So if I'm inspiring them, that's great, but they're also inspiring me. So Christmas is a big deal because I have kids who they don't believe in Santa Claus, but it's still a big deal, and for me, we were just talking yesterday about how we're going to adopt some families that are less fortunate, and to get to do that with my boys, to go shopping for other kids. I mean, for me, it is a precious time. You know, we try to keep a compassionate posture about Christmas, so it's not all about what am I getting for Christmas. But also, it's a family time. My whole family always comes together. Christmas Eve, we go to church, and so yeah, you know, I always look forward to this time of year.